Hi, that was a bit of an improvisation using the one of the octatonic scales. Um, I particularly like this octatonic scale because it's quite easy to identify on the fretboard of like a normally tuned guitar, and I'd like to share that today. So I kind of start backwards with this one. Instead of going normally with all open strings, I'll start on the 12th fret, which is, you know, essentially the same thing, isn't it? So here, if you're a little bit familiar with the musical theory, the term octatonic means that instead of 7 notes to the whole scale, you have 8, hence octatonic. And this particular scale is very easy to understand. You have a one tone, half tone interval all the way through. So if we start in B, for instance, here, you have one tone, half tone, one tone, half tone, and you continue like that. Okay? So in this case, if we forget about strings 5 and 6 for a moment, let's just focus on 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we start with B here. We follow the same sequence: one tone, half tone, one tone, half tone, one tone, half tone, one tone, and B. So that's 8 notes to the scale. So if I play the whole scale, will be so it has this ancient kind of mysterious feel to it, if you think about it. And the particularity of this scale is that in a normally tuned guitar, and if we want to call these boxes, if you're into that box playing, you can identify the pattern in 4 boxes, if you will. So if I start with this one, and again, let's forget about 5 and 6 for a moment. So if we start with B, we already know that it's one tone, half tone, so it's, and then you continue. And so on and so forth. But the important thing is that I have just identified the patterns and they're exactly the same fingering, if you will, on the 2nd and the 4th string. Which is one tone, half tone. Okay, and 1st and 3rd string are exactly the same fingering pattern: half tone, one tone, half tone, one tone. So it's very easy for a guitar player, if you're improvising, to change in your fretboard based on that very simple pattern from this one, which is that, if we call that the first box. The octatonic scale calls for a minor third, so that's a minor third. So that will be your other box, which is essentially the same exact fingering. If we remember, that's if I go down by a minor third. both. You get it? And that's the essential thing about this octatonic scale. Those boxes repeat themselves 4 times. So if I go down, which for me for some reason is easier to come down from the 12th fret than going up from all open strings. So if I come down, I have that one. So the other box is a minor third. And then a minor third. And a minor third. Exactly the same fingering there. So as I said, that's a very easy way to find your way around the fretboard if you're improvising, especially when you're going into those faster paces. Now, going back to the 5th and the 6th string, which we chose to forget at the beginning, there's 2 ways to do this. I guess the right way and the tricky way, or the cheat way. The right way, if we go back to B, which is here, if I'm doing this particular octatonic scale, I should go 1 tone, half tone, 1 tone, half tone. So it should sound something like this. Right? And then you continue with the fingering we now. Sorry. There. So that proposes a problem when you're kind of improvising there, because it's a little bit complicated to remember that. What I tend to do is trick this a little bit, and I choose not to play some of the notes when I'm doing 5th or 6th string improvisation, and I just skip some of those half tones, and I go from here, which we know is the 4th. And I know it's 1 fret down. 1 fret down from here will be my 5th finger. So it's there. Okay, so I come from there to there. And then to there. 1 fret down. Cheating a little bit, if you will, but it serves its purpose. It's easier to remember. And then you may use the other notes if you want. And again, it's the same fingering pattern for the other box. So you're here, you come down a minor third, or 4 frets, if you will, and it's essentially the same thing. You go from here, 1 fret down, and 1 fret down. Okay? The other one is exactly the same one. From here to here. 1 fret down, 1 fret down. Okay? So that's this pattern I tend to use for this one. Is not the only one, the only way to play this scale. but it certainly works for me. So try that, see how it goes, and see you next time.